All right, guys, you're welcome once again back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for your support for all these days, and thank you for learning and for making progress in your trading career. All right, I will also like to implore you all, right, to keep learning and don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Then follow us on Instagram and also join our Telegram channel where we upload and send our chart analysis, then also the result of what a trade we have taken. So you would do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel and also join us in Telegram. Then don't forget, all right, for today, right, the mentorship class will end today. So as many people that really want to join us, you can join the mentorship class where you will learn how to mark the market and how to play trade in a professional way. All right, this week we're going to start an analysis by looking at dollar index. So we'll be expecting what to see this um, this week, right? What the market is actually going to give us for this week, right? We can see last week, right? As you can see, this is equal highs, and this is actually a weekly time frame. I mean, this is equal low, right? We can see how this market came to this equal low, right? Market already took this equal lows. This implies that this market on the weekly time frame, right, is actually bullish. But as you can see it, we have break in market structure here already, which implies that we should see market going back to this level before we see more downside on this pair. So this implies that dollar index is still bearish, and we might see more downward push on this market. But anyway, let's look at what we're going to expect for this week. Now, let me go back to that weekly time frame again. As you can see, this market was unable to close below the weekly, the equal lows that was taken out. The market fails to close below it. So this means that we might actually see some kind of upward movement before we see more downward movement in this pair. Now, on the daily time frame, the best zone to really sell this pair, right? The best zone to sell this pair will remain this area, right? Which will be this particular block here, right? This block here will be where we are looking at. Then probably this particular zone will actually be the best to sell this pair, and this might actually take us a while before we see market coming back to this area. Now, going back to the 4-hour time frame, on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we have a particular zone here, right? We have a particular zone here that we might really work with at the same time, right? Just like what you can see there, we have a particular zone there on a 4-hour time frame that we might work with, that this market might really push back from this zone, then continue to sell back, right? So that is what we might really expect on that particular level. This is actually the 4-hour time frame. This is a zone that we might really see, right? This particular zone here, right? But if this zone failed, then that shows that this market might really go higher. But one thing actually stood out for us in this pair is that this pair is actually super bullish. And we'll be expecting a break in the market structure before we can say that this pair will be bullish again. So if we have a break of this structure, then we can actually see an upside on this pair, right? So if this market was unable to get rejected here, then we might likely see this zone being breakout. But I actually doubt this zone will actually hold, because as you can see the reaction of the candles when this market particular thing was actually coming. But let's look at the 1-hour time frame. Now on the 1-hour time frame, we might likely see this particular zone being retested. But to me, this is not really a good zone to really look hard for. I mean, to really watch. Now, this is not really a good zone. So this implies that this zone might actually get broken. Then the market will come to this particular block here, right? And actually get rejected. Now, you should know that liquidity has been taken on the weekly time frame, which might likely push price to the upside right before we see the downward movement again. So this is the reason why I was actually looking at all this zone, right? This is a liquidity zone to be taken, right? And market should come to this particular level before we might see downward movement on this pair. So that is what I will be expecting on the dollar index. So this implies that every other dollar pair, right, will follow this particular analysis, right? So let's look at Euro USD, right? For Euro USD, as we can, for Euro USD, but let me just delete this. So sorry about the break. So, let's look at the Euro USD pair. For the Euro USD pair, right? What are we expecting on this pair? Now, on the so on the weekly time frame, we can see that we have a liquidity zone here that has been taken out, right? You can see how this liquidity zone was taken out. This is actually an equal high here also, and this pair is now bullish. This pair is now bullish, but anyway, we want to see a kind of retracement either to this zone, right, or to this block here, right? So that is what we want to see, right? We want market to pull back to this zone or to this zone for us to really buy this pair. So that is what we'll be looking out for on this pair. But let's see on the daily time frame. Now on the daily time frame, we can really see that this should be where this pair should get rejected from, then the market pull back to this zone before we continue to buy. Let's see what 4-hour time frame also. I will have to bring this right level to this area. Right, on the 4-hour time frame, right, we want the market to come all the way from here, and this will implies that the best thing we can actually look out for is measuring from this particular low to this high, right, and looking at where we have a good zone to buy from. So this particular block at the 79% fib level will actually be where this pair might likely retrace from before anything. But another thing we should put our eyes on, because is the fact that this pair is actually bullish. Then on the weekly time frame, then the 4-hour time frame, we can actually see a good zone to buy it from here. So this implies that if this zone actually failed, then this remains the best zone to buy this pair. Either this zone, right, or this zone here. Either this zone or this zone. That shows if this zone failed to hold price for a buy, then either this zone or this zone here will be the zone for us to expect price to pull back to. Now, on the 1-hour time frame, we can see that this is another zone we can actually expect, right? Market should pull back to this zone, take out this liquidity, then we should see more higher movement on this pair. And this will actually be in line with the DXY pair that we have analyzed. All right. So the next pair will be USD CHF. USD CHF also, as you can see on the 1-hour time frame, right? On the 1-hour time frame, you can see this particular rejection zone here, right? Which might actually push price lower. Then if you check the daily time frame, the best zone to really sell this pair is still up here. But we know that this pair has actually been bullish, been bearish. So it might actually be difficult for it to come to this area, and coming to this area might require us to really change the direction of this pair. But anyway, looking at the 4-hour time frame, this is actually still a good zone for us to look at. Or this particular zone here also, right? This particular zone here might be a good zone for us to look at, right? Which might actually falls within the fib level, as you can see from this high to this low, right? Then the 79% fib level will actually be on this block. that we might really see a pushback from that particular zone, right? Then looking at the 1 hour time frame, what are we really expecting? That shows on the 1 hour time frame, if this zone did not hold, this particular zone will be our liquidity zones where market will take out. Now that shows this high will be rated, for market to come back to this zone for us to see market to come back. So this implies that we might see something like this, liquidity grab, market retest this zone, then we see the drop. So most likely that is what we're going to see on this pair, right? That is what we're going to see on this pair, right? So the next pair to look at is EURJPY. EURJPY, or let me look at EURUSD first. GBP USD. Now on the weekly time frame, we can actually see that this pair is also right bearish. As you can see, market is really struggling to go higher, so which leave this particular zone as a liquidity pool, right, that should be taken out. But however, if that zone is not taken out, right, we have a block here. We can see an positive move here. We have a block here that can really push this price lower, right? That can push this price lower. But let's go to 4 hour time frame and see. So far the daily is bullish, and let's see if we can see a very good zone for us to buy this pair, right? This would be a very good zone for us to buy it, right? When market pull back to this zone, we might really look out for that, because we can actually see a liquidity grab here. A zone that should be taken, this zone that we marked here. So when market pull back to this, then we can actually expect it to go higher. Then on the 1 hour time frame, let's look out for a good zone, right? So that has also still remain a good zone for us to look at on the 1 hour time frame. As you can see it, right? This zone here, market should pull back to this zone, then for us to look to buy. So which implies that when this week open, right, then we might likely see a manipulation to the downside, right? Then probably Tuesday, Wednesday, then we see another movement higher. So that is what I will be expecting on this pair. Then on EURJPY, looking at the daily time frame, we can see, right, in my group, we actually predicted that this high would be rated, and we can actually see that that high has been taken out. On the weekly time frame, you can see that this particular year high was rated, right, has been taken out, but it's not actually enough confirmation for us to see a rejection or a push down from that. Then on the daily time frame, right, if you really want to buy, right, this particular zone will be a buying zone in which we're still going to reduce the block in the lower time frame. Then on the 4 hour time frame, right, the best buying zone will be this level. So this implies that market should retrace back into this particular zone, then for us to go higher on that pair. Then on the 1 hour time frame, then we might likely see this particular zone, or at another zone will be this level in the air. So these are actually the zone we might likely buy that pair from. So then let's look at CAD JPY. For CAD JPY, right, we can see that the 1 hour is bullish, right? Then on the daily is really bearish. Now on the 4 hour time frame, we can see that there is a liquidity grab here, right? You can see liquidity grab here, and we have an impulsive move that really took out that low. So which implies that we might likely see a retracement downward, then this pair might really continue to go higher. Now on the 1 hour time frame, let's see how we can really deal with this, right? This particular level, right? That particular week level can be what can actually push price up. Now we are going to see something like this, the accumulation phase, the market pull back, take out this low, pull back to this level, then the market go higher. So that is the likely things that we might see on this pair, right? Then for gold, we can see that gold is really bullish from the daily time frame, the weekly time frame, and all the time frame. But looking at the 4-hour time frame, we can see that gold is really giving us something that is not clear in this area, which might actually push this price lower before we go higher. So for this, what can we see on this pair? Now, what I'm going to do is that this pair actually did not give us any buying level or any selling level, but we have to wait until this market actually give us a best opportunity before we do anything on this pair. But anyway, this particular level still remain a zone for us to buy from. Then this particular level remains the liquidity zone for us. So this implies that when the market open, we might likely see market coming down to the lower side, get rejected here, then this market continue to go higher. So that is what we might likely see on that pair. Then on USD30, you can see on the weekly time frame, this pair has been going higher, but we have a fair value gap here that this might likely take out. Now we have a liquidity zone here that we can expect this market to take out before this market will go down again. But anyway, what we might likely see, right? We go to daily time frame to see an opportunity for us to buy, right? Probably 4-hour time frame for us to see an opportunity to buy this pair. Now, this was the zone we actually should buy from, but we can see that this low was taken out, but this is actually the rejection zone. So we might likely see a push higher from this pair on this time frame. Now I'm going to 1-hour time frame. Let's see. On the 1-hour time frame, I will be expecting the market to move from here. All right. Either this particular block, right, or at this particular level, right, this particular level here, which might likely be obvious on the 15 minutes time frame. Sorry. So this particular level here, we might likely see market getting rejection from here, then this market continue to go higher. So basically, this is actually what I want to see on all this pair. Then lastly, US tech, right? What are we really expecting on this pair? Let's look at the weekly time frame. All right, you can see that this market is actually going higher on the weekly time frame. Then on the daily time frame, you can see this market accumulating in this area. So this implies that this is actually an equal high that should be taken out, right? An equal high that should be taken out. So market will find its way to break that equal high, right? And we can see market already giving us an impulsive move. So we look at 1-hour time frame to get a good zone to buy this pair from, right? Better still, this particular level will be where to buy this pair from, either this particular block or on this particular weekend will be when we might likely see a buying opportunity. So which implies that when this market open, we might see market push back to this zone or to this zone for a buying opportunity. So these are the analysis for this week. Once again, guys, I will enjoy you to subscribe to this channel so that you can get more analysis, and you can also join our Telegram channel for you to get better chart markups that will really help you in your trading career. Then also you can follow us on Instagram for you to do well on whatever things you are doing, which is actually your trading career. Then the mentorship class, just like what I said, we close today. Then you can join us and enroll to the class so that you'll be trained in a professional way. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining in. I will see you in the next section. Take care of yourself. Have a good trading week, and God bless you.